A strong message today of do not take anything for granted, including the challenges and the difficulties. And that's interesting since I pulled out a tarot card just from the top of the deck. I just went to let me pick out one for this collective today. And it was interesting to me because it's not currently how I'm feeling within my own energy or body, yet can sense that in the collective or in the world at large, many may be feeling this way. And I'd like to speak on it in a way that may demonstrate some kind of guidance or leadership in some way, perhaps share some of my own storytelling on it as well. But anyway, card is Five of Pentacles, and this is feeling that you're perhaps out in the cold or that you're away from what's familiar and what's normal to you, and this sense of security and stability in the home and in finances and stability, and it indicates a sense of perceived loss and not knowing what's next. And I'm hearing the question, I heard this earlier on as well. Now what? And now who am I? Now where do I go? Now what's happening? And I can't see what's up ahead. Like if you're going further into the unknown and away from what has been familiar to you and what you were used to, what made you comfortable, what was the norm for you, and moving into I don't know where I'm going, or I can't see what's up ahead, and I can't see what's next. Yet when you do this, or you have done this, and if there's some of you who connected here who feel that you've been on this journey, you know that it all unfolds in your favor. So therefore, you can give up the need to be in worry. The Five of Pentacles is really a card of the energy, the emotion of worry, worry over the future, worry about what's going to happen, worry in a sense of hardship or difficulty or adversity. When you can be appreciative of how it is actually guiding you forward into what you've asked for, your soul taking you where you are truly meant to go. And that's not to negate the sensation and the human experience of going through challenges and difficulties being difficult, and that it can suck at times as well. Absolutely. It can be painful as well. Yet when you have so many of these experiences and you go through so many challenges in life, whether it's with your health, it's with your home environment, it's in family dynamics, it's in relationships, it's in love, it's in connection, it's in your finances, it's with jobs, with opportunities, it's in friendships. It's feeling that you've been let down, rejected, betrayed, whatever it is, that all of these things serve a purpose in your becoming, in shaping you into who you get to become with greater embodied wisdom. Which takes me to my book, because I was guided to read out two of the kind of quote pages that I have here, where I've got like a section where there's something that was just really channeled coming through. I was writing these lines of declarations, affirmations, mantras, and so on to bring us back into awareness, or to connect more with our divinity and sense of wholeness and the law of one and the understanding of compassion and how we can zoom out and not feel that we're so enmeshed in or so entangled in the emotional experiences we can have in these situations, but to see also the illusion of them. And then again, I'm not negating that they can be hard and painful, yet we can zoom out and see things from a higher perspective and understand that it's all serving a purpose. And many of the things that we can see in our reality in this holographic world anyway are not even real. And this is why it's so important. I really had the urge to share watching the news yesterday for all of these comments and things that people can make and speak up on certain things, maybe sharing your truth and so on. What's most important is to connect with your own truth, with your own wisdom, with your own intuition. And I definitely feel a calling within me to support others in this and being some kind of leader or guide in connecting people with their own sense of inner personal spiritual sovereignty and connection to your intuition, so that you're listening more to your own inner voice than to the voice of the world. how many of you are going to leave this channel. You know, but it's a truth, you know, and I'm not here to get as many subscribers or followers or people listening to me as possible. And even on my socials, and I have an understanding of the turtle vision of like slow and steady and they'll playing the long game, and who resonates with you comes into your field of awareness, is drawn to you, and so on, and it all serves a purpose. And it's not about a numbers game or, you know, your outcomes as such, yet feeling that you're in alignment and true to who you are in your vision and your mission, and coherent and congruent in your own frequency, that being more important and more valuable than a numbers game or seeking anything or wanting certain objectives outside of you, because then you're in alignment, you're true to who you are, and you know that that's taking you where you need to go and connecting you with who you are meant to connect with. That is ultimately far more fulfilling within, or enriching, or creates what you're here to create more of, rather than being scattered or serving something that doesn't align with that. Does that resonate with anyone here? That wasn't intended, just came right through, that your unique challenges and difficulties as you walk down the path of the unknown, which is what this card is suggesting, is giving you the unique blueprint that you have to share your wisdom and value and knowledge with others. And this is exactly what I go through in week 4 of Evolve, in understanding your highest values and understanding the value that you have to offer and leveraging it in order to create impact, how you can monetize on that, and also how you can fine tune it to make it a potent message that you share so that you're in alignment with your truth, connecting more with your soul tribe, and creating more expansion and abundance and happiness and harmony and health and vitality within you and in your reality. Because the more we're living in alignment with the rhythm of our soul and with our soul's truth and dharma and message, the healthier we become, the more we glow from within, the more we're felt in frequency and in resonance, and that this becomes undeniable as an energy, and you become more magnetic. So things are drawn to you, and then it becomes less about efforting and hustle or wanting anything, and knowing that you're simply embodying the frequency of who you are and what you know to be your truth, and knowing that all is aligning in your favor. And therefore, the challenges add to that and also contribute to that along the way, and you can be grateful for them too. So these two passages: embracing, knowing, and embodying who I truly am does not imply arrogance, nor does it imply humility in a sense of lowering myself. I'm neither inferior nor superior. I'm an evolved version of myself. And that in the refined self concept, you can constantly declare and command and decide and embody within your own energy that I'm a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. I'm holding a more confident energy within my vessel today than I was 2 months ago. And so on. And you constantly refine that within you, within your own energetics, within the container, within your fields. And you may walk down the street in a different posture. You may feel more embodied in your energy. You may feel more emboldened. You may feel like that you have and are everything, and feel fantastic and amazing and lit up in your sense of vitality and wholeness and health and harmony, walking down the street or in who you meet and so on. While that is not necessarily being arrogant, it's holding more of the energy of the truth of who you are in your energy, while also knowing that anyone else on this planet has the ability to do that too, and to feel that confidence and wholeness and vitality and health within them if they become aware of it, and if they choose it, and if they do the energetic work to hold the frequency within. And we're in this era of frequency in the age of Aquarius, where we're becoming a lot more aware of how powerful we are as creators and manifestors, and how it's all being created from within us in our mind body soul connection, in the congruence and the coherence of our frequency. And therefore, it's more important that we give less of our attention to external forces and conditions that may be attempting to manipulate, control, or sway us by influence of our seat of spiritual sovereignty and inner power and knowing, in following and listening to the voice that is within us, guiding us on the path of our soul. I'm feeling such strong energy over that. Is what I connect with clients in doing this work so that more people feel that empowerment within them and that they're living from the inside out and living life more on their own terms and being aware of these illusions and tactics outside of them that have nothing to do with the truth of who they are and what they're truly here to do and achieve through being more themselves. It's resonating with you. Thank you for being here, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I choose to lovingly allow and celebrate that I'm simply a more evolved version of myself in refining my self-concept, which you can constantly work on in every now moment of every now day. And that does mean that your reality will be shifting and adjusting to the new broadcast that you are signaling to the universe. And it's you first. You declare and command to the universe who you are and what energy you are holding within your vessel. That inner soulful revolution ignites and inspires expansion, health, harmony, prosperity, and joyful success in others too. All feels divine in your choice to shine. And you can be a way shower, an example for others. I was talking to another client about this recently and how they were getting flustered about what other people do or don't do, and how that's the calling back to your own inner critic and your own inner judgment for how you're not fully embodying your own truth and your own path, because we all have more work to do. And when we come back to ourselves and we find, I'm still thinking this, I'm still not doing that, I'm not holding this energy, I need to, and not to criticize yourself, but when we come back into our self-awareness, we give up the need to judge or criticize or even look at or comment on what another is doing and whether or not they're in alignment with their values or living their truth, because we'll see that we always have work to do ourselves in our own evolutionary journey. Then it can become a bit comedic and ridiculous in how you can just give up having any judgment of what someone else is or is not doing and return to your own frequency fine tuning. Again, on my journey of demanding more of myself, I can return to these questions. Am I denying myself pleasure out of inner criticism and self-punishment? Or am I denying myself pleasure for a greater purpose that brings me greater satisfaction if you're committing to the goals? Am I procrastinating out of giving myself space to process and integrate this new energy that's come in to go to a new next level, to refine and to move forward more bolder in bigger energy, or switching up and pivoting and following that, well, what now? So you zoom out, fine tune the frequency, meditate, get greater clarity on your next step forward, and you might come back differently. You might switch up your strategy completely because now your energy is different. So therefore, what's in your reality may no longer be resonating with you. And that means that you're called to pivot and leave something and leave a role, a job, or stop showing up in the same way, or set new boundaries or standards. Completely shut something down. I mean, as I did myself with like my design portfolio that I'd worked on for a few years. And one day it was just, this isn't who I am anymore. And I just took the whole thing down. And yes, there can be a grieving in that, a transformational grief of, wow, I put so much time and energy and effort and love into that. And, you know, years of study and training and honing on my craft and skill and working with people and the collaborations and creating this and the hours and the weekends that I poured into this. And now it's just, yeah, that's not me anymore. And when I used to work in suicide prevention as well, and just finding that over time, as the months went by, it was becoming so robotic, and how there were these automated responses that you would use in certain scenarios with certain people if someone was showing a certain profile, and then how you would respond to that. And I was over time feeling increased resistance, and just sharing this story as an example for how it may support whoever is listening at this time, or it may be a confirmation to you that you actually need to unplug from something because it's no longer in alignment for you. And even though it may be painful, you may be thinking about it a lot or feeling this way about it, that it's the right path for you to leave behind what's not resonating with you anymore, because you know you're too big for something, or you know that it's not in resonance with your truth, or it's not allowing you to expand, that you're hitting some ceiling, or you're feeling a sense of limitation, and there's a need to break out of some kind of box or cage so that you can expand in your energy. If you feel in any way constricted, it's allowing you to shine even more brightly. So in that role, I was having this inner conflict for at least 2 weeks where I was back and forth, like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? Because I knew it was not just about me, it was also showing up in service work and helping and supporting others. And that's why I was back and forth with it. And I ended up writing about this in my book and saying, well, as you go to a new level, if you say you elevate in frequency, there's people that you can help from that level of you. And it doesn't have to be in the same way, like supporting people who have suicide ideation to supporting people who are trying to make their next breakthrough in their business. It's very different energy. If we look at it that way, yet you could feel more passionate and lit up on purpose in showing up as that version of you to support that person and still be creating incredible impact in the world. And where I feel this is a trait in resonance for me. It may not resonate with you. You'll feel in your own, in your body, in your intuition. And in terms of frequencies, if you're ascending and elevating in frequency and you go to the next level, then you're showing up in contribution and service work at that level. Energy is neither created or destroyed, it transforms. And I believe where there is some kind of void or a gap created, that is always filled. That's something, not to say you're replaceable, yet something fills that space. And it could be someone else who is on the journey of just coming out of what was not that into where you had been, and learning from the challenges of that pathway that you have somehow evolved from. And that's not to say anyone is ahead or behind, since in different areas of our lives, we can be on different trajectories. There could be someone who is very aligned in their career, in their calling, yet is a disaster with relationships. Someone who is very creative and innovative and passionate about their art, who is mishandling their finances, or someone who is very good at money management yet doubts themselves over their ability to create and actually start their own business, even though they've got all of those skills. So there's different angles and different ways that we can look at that, and that's resonating with anyone here. Yet the questioning that you may feel at this time, like, what now? Where do I go from here? To ask yourself, are you procrastinating? Are you self-sabotaging? Or no, to this inner reflection can support you in your next steps. And this weekend, because we're between the two eclipses of the seventh with the blood moon and the partial solar eclipse coming up on the 22nd, I believe it's the 22nd of September. So we're in between these two, and it can feel like a bit of a fog. It can feel like a brain fog. It can feel like, well, now what? It may feel emotional as well, as like you're between in this liminal space of like you can feel something new is coming, yet it's not quite here yet. And still energetically, you can hold the space of all as well, and everything was unfolding perfectly for me. And I can simply come back to my basics. I can come back to my spiritual practices. I can come back to cleaning my spaces, creating space. I can declutter and look at things that feel they're no longer with resonant with the version of me that I now am or that I'm choosing to become. And this can be you going through your wardrobe and saying, well, this is no longer who I am, and to give those things away, to donate them, to get rid of them, whatever it is that you choose to do. And even with items and objects in your place, and creating space for what you're wanting to manifest and bring in, that you can create space for that. You know, in spiritual practices, you set up some kind of altar and you have some candles and incense. And interestingly, for me, I had gone to purchase some of these things and was cleaning my space and walked to a shop and got a couple of things, and on the way back I had two people saying to me like, oh, can I come and see you for a session sometime over the next week? And it's because energetically you're opening space for what it is you're wanting to call in or attract, or in that clearance. So clearing your space can be a great thing if you're feeling, well, now what, I don't know what to do. Energetically clear space, create space for what you're wanting to call in, fine tune the frequency, put on some music that makes you feel good, or even that allows you to express emotions that you may need to. If you're needing to have a good cry, that you allow yourself to have that, and you give yourself grace and compassion and tenderness and gentleness, and you allow yourself to flow with the current rather than to be in a resistance within you and any internal conflict, in seeing anything as bad or wrong when it's not. You're a human being on a human journey, and you deserve your own compassion and gentleness and tenderness and love, as well as your discipline to choose better for yourself in choosing to feel good. And that is a true discipline, the discipline of choosing your joy. What's going to make me feel good right now? How can I take care of myself right now? How can I organize my space in a way that's showing, that's proving to myself that I love and respect and care about myself? And being on that vibe, that's, you're creating more of that energy within you in your reality, and that's broadcasted and mirrored back to you. And so loving, and even having just appreciation of that, you see synchronicities, you see things show up, and it's less about you having to hustle and grind and being an energy of doing, and more can make its way to you because you're not so much in resistance in your own energy. You come back into a state of appreciation. Am I procrastinating because I appreciate my now comfort and just like the stretch new moves are bringing in right now? And for many people, it's coming to me this morning as well, inner stillness and inner calm, and even just doing nothing can be incredibly uncomfortable because we're so programmed and conditioned to always be productive, to always be doing, to always be taking action. It's such the masculine patriarchal systemic way of doing things. And since Pluto is now in Aquarius, no longer in Capricorn, that is collapsing. Now it's more about being fluid and innovative and following your inner flow and inner rhythms, and the harmonizing more with nature and what feels natural and organic to you rather than what is forced and taking action for action's sake. But it's aligned, it's intentional, it's focused, it's fluid in your energy, and therefore it's more potent and brings you better results than something that is taking action for action's sake. Am I tired of my own BS? Or am I choosing to be ready now as a new version of me? Because I know that that's who I truly am. And it may be that you feel a push pull, like, do I lean in and take bolder action? But you've got to be holding your frequency in your body. And you've got to feel that it's in alignment, and you've got to be congruent with it. You can't be like, oh, now I'm going to be in this bolder energy, I'm going to take this action. And then you've taken the action and then you want to go hide under a table, for instance. And the congruence and the coherence is, can you be that energy in any environment and situation? And I mean, I tested this out even earlier on in this channel when I was doing my videos from other locations with potentially other people around, and saying to myself, well, I'm visible not only on the channel, I'm visible, as in my neighbor can see me doing this. And it's the same. And, you know, the person who lives next door knows the nature of the work that I do, as well as me speaking about it online. And therefore, it's, the visibility is coherent, and it's not only in this setting, in this scenario, and I better keep hush about it over here. I'm not going to tell that person about it. And then, because then it is watered down and diluted. The congruence is being more yourself, embodied, regardless of who you're with, what environment you're in, what situation, and you're allowing yourself to be even more authentic. And even if you don't know where that's guiding you or what's next, to know that your soul knows. Your soul knows the way, and abundance is yours. It was at the top of the angel cards, and I felt I wanted to read this one out for you today. If you're feeling that you're needing it, if you feel like there's been some hardship, if you're feeling that there's been some financial struggle, that this is easing. That when you hold self-mastery within your own energy, when you breathe in expansion and wealth and prosperity into your being through the power of your breath, you can hold the frequency of it in your own energy. And you can breathe out and shed and release any sense of worry, lack, poverty, scarcity, whatever it may be, and even call out an affirmation, a mantra, and say, I release all thought forms and emotions around lack or scarcity mindset. I breathe in abundance as my true natural state. Money flows to me easily and freely in rivers of abundance in every now moment. Every in breath I take is abundant. There is enough air for everybody to breathe. It's endless supply of air to breathe in. And the more I breathe in, the more I know I'm receiving. I'm always receiving. I can breathe out and let go of any heaviness and release and circulate money, knowing that as I circulate money for my highest good and joy and meet all of my needs, more is always flowing back to me as I breathe in and breathe out. And give yourself that sense of security and safety and calm and stillness within your own body, and anchoring it down into you, down into the root chakra, to feel rooted and anchored and grounded and loved and held and supported by the Divine Mother, knowing all your needs are met here and now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And call in your angels for guidance and support as you continue on your path and more is revealed to you. It is time for your life to flow with prosperity, love, and success. You draw from the limitless universal pool according to your belief in how much you deserve. Angel wisdom is reminding you now to believe in yourself and trust that you deserve more. Then you attract abundance and the true riches of life. To feel surrounded by love, open your heart to others. Choose to do what fulfills you the most, and angels bring you joy, satisfaction, and success. Enhance your prosperity by giving graciously, giving out willingly, and saying thank you for everything. Enjoy all that you have, and more makes its way to you. The affirmation says, I deserve love, prosperity, and success. And there can be a time when you feel, I deserve more than this. And there may be a hint of resentment or bitterness or anger there. And that is sacred in itself. All emotions are sacred. It is truly when you alchemize that and you come into a sense of knowing with certainty. Because it's not saying to the universe, well, I deserve more. And then, so where is it? And it doesn't work that way. But to actually really embody the energy of that deserving, then you wouldn't be having a tantrum or throwing hissy fits or protesting it, declaring it or commanding it. You would be holding the energy of I am it. It is within me. It's already here. It's already mine. You would be moving about in your posture, in your body, in your vessel, with deep appreciation that all is well. You'll be walking down the street already holding the energy of your desires, knowing that it's already within you, it's already in your field, it's already here. And you want to be focusing on cultivating and expanding and growing on that and feeling it and doing energy work and energy practices. And you're very welcome to step in to receive attunements with me to feel that lived experience in your energetics. You can check out the courses page from my website in the description below to see what they said about their experiences on this and this integration of energy, where you're holding the energy within you, you feel it pulsating, ripple through you. And this is essentially working on creating the outer reality, matching up to your frequency signal. If that one has resonated with you. Finally, I've been asked to take the Magdalene Oracle out with me to pull a card from this deck for you here today, and to remind you that it's the last day. This is the last day, your chance to get your ticket into my 6-week group coaching evolved program, which is starting this week, where there is a weekly link sent out every week for a live. There's a replay as well. You get a workbook with weekly tasks. So there's like 4 components of it. There's like SWOT analysis kind of idea. You have to be there to find out more, we will say. But you do get a copy of my book gifted to you as well. So thank you in appreciation for signing up. You get playlists, you get frequency music, you get there's so much packed in. And it's a journey moving from the awareness and the shedding and overcoming and neutralizing the challenges and the obstacles to very specific tasks that you can tailor to your own unique journey, because it's about you. And it's about you feeling in greater clarity, alignment, and confidence in how you're more potent in your energy and in the embodiment, which is the last part, so that you're showing up more in that inner leadership and spiritual sovereignty and reclaiming more of your own energy back to you. So you're making things work more on your own terms. And and it's designed to support other people with that journey. And I did this program last year. I mean, it's been there for a while, and I was called to recently to refine the content, to adjust, to put it out there again as a newly embodied me, because I'm not exactly the same, in energetics now as I was 1 year ago, and neither were you. And the card that comes out is Gaia. Back of the deck is it's all in divine order, divine timing. This is returning to true nature. It's the message to be out in nature, connect with nature. And I'm going to read the description from the booklet. Right. Whether male or female, you're advised to embrace your feminine side. This means embracing your intuitive, gentle, and loving nature and applying these qualities to a current troublesome situation. Embracing these nurturing qualities helps you feel a greater sense of balance. In turn, this helps you overcome your present difficulty. So this is mirroring the idea of from the Five of Pentacles, giving love and grace and compassion and having actually appreciation for whatever difficulty and challenge that you may have, and giving yourself self-love and self-care and compassion can really diffuse the situation in another way. Ask Mother Earth to help ground and strengthen you, and you feel a renewed sense of vitality. Spend time in nature, do some gardening, go for a walk in a park. Feel your connection to the earth, and remember that masculine and feminine qualities are complementary parts of every human being. Balance, true power, and wisdom are only possible when you embrace the both. And at the bottom is a little, like a poem. For years I felt your yearning, forever I have loved you, to feel the embrace of the divine mother. It may even be to connect with the energy of trees, to sit under a tree, to connect with the wisdom of trees, to be open and receptive to what might come to you. If you've had any of those experiences in connecting with the trees, go to it. I'm now hearing well, someone else out there and I think sure nuts. Thank you. I'm A-okay with that. When you put yourself out there and you become even more visible, and you know that it's not really about you, it's about how you can uplift and support others, how it may impact and support, motivate, inspire others to be more visible too, and share their truth and their message and their voice, that truly is creating an incredibly positive change in the world when we focus on the higher good, when we focus on healing the planet, when we focus on nature and how we're all part of her and all connected. Last chance to get your ticket to Evolve. The link is in the description box below. I'd love to see you there. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for tuning in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and see you in the next one. Bye.